You are listening to a production of the Weibo Podcast Network.
Hello, welcome to episode 11 of season 2 of Tiger's Sports Page. I'm your host, Angelina Lopez. Tiger's Sports Page is a weekly podcast and YouTube program dedicated to all things Lancaster ISD sports. Lancaster ISD, for those who don't know the geography, is in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex in North Texas, just south of Dallas. Lancaster High School, most of what we cover here in this podcast, is a member of Texas University Interscholastic League and plays at the 6A division, which is a division with the largest schools with the biggest populations. We cover all of that. Now on today's program, we're joined today by Assistant Athletic Director Chryste Gaines. Hello, ma'am. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm great. We're going to start off with our question and ask you what we ask everyone when they come into this podcast. If you could give us a 1-minute biography.
1-minute biography. I'm from Dallas, Texas. Attended South Oak Cliff High School. Went to Stanford University, and I am an NCAA champion there. Went on to make 3 Olympic teams and 4 World Championship teams, and coached for a stint, and now I'm Assistant Athletic Director here.
That's actually amazing. I'm honored to be here with you. With their fall sports coming to an end, we would like to know what you have thought about each sport's progress and where each team has met their goals set at the beginning of their seasons and where there are growth areas.
So we're still in playoffs for football, so those goals are still being met. We live to fight another week, so go Tigers. Our other fall sport, volleyball, we have a little growth there. Our season was not as successful as we would have liked, but we are quickly approaching off-season, and we will get a chance to get some work in, learn some new things, and just build that program.
Our winter and spring sports are approaching really soon. What are you expecting from each of our sports? And could you please provide some examples for each?
Well, I'll start with the defending 5A state champion boys running Tigers basketball program. We have high hopes for them. Even though we've moved up a division, we fully expect to be back in the state championships, contending for a title. The ladies are playing well in preseason, so the expectation is there as well to be in San Antonio and contend for a state title. For soccer, both programs, we fully intend to be in the hunt for playoffs for district for both boys and girls. Baseball and softball, the expectation as well is for us to be contenders for those top 4 spots, to make the playoffs for 11-6A. And our boys and girls track teams, well, you know, we're number 14 and 17 state titles. We fully expect to be in Austin, Texas at Mike A. Myers Stadium in May, contending for number 15 and number 8 state titles there.
What sports do you believe we're going to see a completely new side of, and why do you believe so?
Well, we're already seeing a new side of the girls basketball team, and that's largely due to our hire of Coach Howard. She has turned that program. They've done a 180. We were already a playoff contender, but now I can see, a great future with them. Those ladies have worked hard in the off season, and they've started very well.
What sports do you think would run into some challenges, and what challenges would those be, and how would they be dealt with?
I'm going to say baseball and softball. We have 2 new coaches there. So as challenging as it is to be in 11-6A, it's even more challenging when we have pretty much new staff. But I believe both of them are fully capable, and I believe that we will be in contention for those top 4 spots.
Women's track notwithstanding because they're in a class of their own. Historically, our women's sports here have not had the same equity of success as our men's sports. What is being done or being planned at this point to begin building some of that success equity in our women's programs?
I wouldn't call it inequity. I would just say that women's track has had a history of success. I mean, 14 state titles speaks for itself. So the women have not had a lack of success. I would just say that our male sports have just outshone them. If you take track off the plate, then we only have one playoff team representing on the women's side. But I believe that our staff that we've hired in this last year is fully capable of building those programs, and we'll see that women's side start to take off.
Hopefully. Thank you so much. Have I forgotten to ask you anything, or would you like to add anything to the podcast?
No, we look forward to, I mean, it's so busy right now. We're in football playoffs. Basketball has started. Men and women will be traveling for the Thanksgiving week in tournaments and showcases. So it's super busy. Soccer tryouts are happening right now. Baseball and softball tryouts are happening right now. So we're just super busy in athletics.
Thank you for tuning in this week. Come back after Thanksgiving break as we interview our head male soccer coach, Fortune Cuckoo. Those of you listening to the podcast on your favorite podcast app, either Apple Podcast or iHeart or Spotify, please like and rate us. That will allow us to appear higher in the rankings and gain more listeners. If you're watching the YouTube feed, which comes out a bit later than the audio feed, please like and subscribe to the channel. You'll be notified every time we post a new video. Tiger Sports Page is a production of Weebo Podcast Network. It is produced with the cooperation of Lancaster ISD Department of Athletics and Lancaster ISD Department of Communications. Thank you again, and thank you for listening and watching. We'll see you in 2 weeks after Thanksgiving break. Bye.
This has been a production of the Weebo Podcast Network.